Very good morning. Principal sir, shall we start the session?
Yes, sir, you can start. No problem.
Usha ma'am, are you online?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Okay, good morning. Good morning. Very good morning to one and all. Warm welcome to one and all for the AICTE-IIC 4.0 sponsored Impact Lecture Series 2. Just for an information, IIC Impact Lecture Series 1 was held on 1st July, and there should be a 10 days gap. So accordingly, the second session, second series is to be scheduled today. So ABC College of Engineering is one of the member institution of IIC, joined in the year 2018 and organized various IIC events like innovation, startup, incubation, entrepreneurship, various workshops, seminars, and other activities over the years. So the objective of the IIC is to promote these kind of activities among faculty as well as students regarding innovation, incubation, IPR, entrepreneurship, lot of things as encouraged by the AICTE as well as MHRD, like Smart India Hackathon, Toy Hackathon. These are the various events for the students. So accordingly, today we have the session that is Innovation 2.0 for session 1, and session 2 comprises of IPR and patent filing. First and foremost, I welcome Dr. Usha Divakarla, Associate Professor Information Science and Engineering, NMAM Institute, NITTE, Mangalore. NITTE, it is a deemed university. It is part of NMAM Institute, is part of NITTE. For accepting our invitation to give a talk on Innovation 2.0. Welcome, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. As a short intro about Dr. Usha ma'am. Madam has completed her BE in the year 2000, completed her MTech in the year of 2006, and PhD from NIT Surathkal in the year of 2018. Dr. Usha ma'am is having 16 years of teaching experience, and her area of interest includes computing technologies as well as machine learning. Madam is a recipient of various awards, and she is guiding research scholar in the area of faculty, in the area of information science and engineering. And she took various responsibilities in her institution. Welcome, ma'am. We are very glad to welcome you, madam, for this IIC Impact Lecture Series session. Welcome, ma'am. Next, I welcome our principal, Dr. C. Sundarraj, for this event to deliver an inaugural speech. Welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome our Director of Administration of our institution, Dr. M. Senthil Murugan. Sir will take part in this session shortly. As a customary, I would like to welcome heads, directors, fellow faculty members of various departments and IIC members of our institution for this Impact Lecture Series 2. I wholeheartedly welcome the participants from various institutions across country for this event. Participants from West Bengal, participants from Delhi, participants from Kerala, Andhra, all parts of our country has joined this session. They have given a registration also. I wholeheartedly welcome all the participants for this event. Once again, I welcome one and all for this session. And this is a small information to the participants. Dear participants, here today we have two sessions. Forenoon session will be taken by Dr. Usha ma'am, and followed by the afternoon session by Dr. Esther ma'am, that is Priya Esther, on the topic of IPR and patent filing. We have to attend both the session, and you have to submit the feedback after completing the session. The feedback comprises of nearly 12 questions related to your innovation as well as IPR, and you have to submit feedback and assessment for both the session. And one more important thing, and you have to share geotagged photograph. Geotagged photograph in the sense from your mobile itself, you can take a photo snapshot. Just you can download the geotag app, mobile app, and which will show the latitude and longitude of your presence. So that is more important, and you have to share the geotagging, and those who have attended both the session and those who have completed both the assessment will receive the e-certification within 2 days of time. So with this short information, once again, I welcome one and all for this Impact Lecture Series 2. Thank you one and all. Now, it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. C. Sundaraj sir to propose the presidential address. Please.
Thank you, Pradeep. Dr. Usha Divakarla, today's resource person, Dr. Pradeep, coordinator, then participants of our institution and other institution. Very good morning to one and all. So the second session of this lecture series started today, and the topics are innovation and IPR, that intellectual property rights. Lot of innovations of India are not having their property ownership. For example, we can say that Passamadi rice, actually it belongs to India, but the patent is with others. So similarly, lot of innovations, small innovations our peoples are doing, that was not properly patented. And why? Because we don't know the procedure or what we have to do further after getting the small innovations. Even myself did a lot of innovations at the time when I have in 1980s. But later on, that innovations have been incorporated in many vehicles, but I don't know how to patent that innovation. For example, making use of LPG in motorcycles, like that, there are a lot of innovations. But this should be, awareness should have all the peoples how to have the property rights. Similarly, the need of the world is changes day by day. So new innovations are needed. Today's new innovation is tomorrow's obsolete. So that is why how the world is growing now. So the new, what is the way we can have the new innovations is also much important. And in that part, the first session will be on innovations, new innovations of 2.0. And in the second session is how to protect your innovation by making of patent rights. And these two chapters are relevant today's aspect. And I think the participants will get benefit out of this. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to inaugurate this session. Once
Thank you,
again,
sir. Thank you,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir. Now, I invite Dr. Usha ma'am to take over the session. Before inviting ma'am, I must thank Professor Dr. K.C. sir from NIT Surathkal. When I approached sir for the first series, the first session of the series Impact Lecture series, immediately sir asked me about do you want any speaker for any other session? So, sir only fixed that Usha ma'am for the Impact Lecture series. So, in this juncture, I have to thank Professor Dr. K.C. sir. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Pradeep sir. And
Thank you.
as rightly said by Pradeep sir, thanks goes to KC sir also for involving me in this series. I thank the principal and the management of the ABC Engineering College for trusting and giving me this opportunity to talk on this particular topic. So I'll start my presentation. So I hope my presentation is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, good morning all. So today I'll be talking about innovation 2.0. Now we have talked innovation as a fancy word, right? We talk about invention, innovation, reformation, so many things, right? We already know that we have done inventions, we have innovations, we have reformations, right? Then why are we talking today about only innovation? Okay, so the outline of the series today will be some basic preliminaries about innovation, then a broader view of innovation and its version 2.0, and the process of the innovation and its variants, and the social innovation, a case study, and a research agenda for innovation. Means what exactly you can do as a research in the concept called as innovation 2.0, and a conclusion. Okay. So as I said, we have already spoken, we already know the fancy terms invention, innovation, reformation. Then what is innovation exactly? Now suppose if I put it in a Google, I say search ABC. Now if you see the first page of the Google search, the same ABC has got different versions. Now you can have ABC as it is as the first option, or you can have ABC 1 or ABC 2 or ABC different with combination of different words. So what is this? Now this is nothing but basically different versions of the ABC. Whenever you search anything in the Google, the exact search is given for you in the first component of the Google search, and the next successive components are the versions of what you want to search. It can be an extended version. So that means to say what? You have something called as a modified or an updated or upgraded versions of your basic search. So that's what is basically innovation. That means to say what? It can be anything that is existing, a little updated, or absolutely a new one, or it can be a modified version of the concepts. So in that case, then what exactly are the innovations currently we can talk about as examples? Now, examples of such versions that we come across towards the internet is analytics 3.0, construction, society. Today we don't talk about society, we say society 5.0. Why? Because we have different rules, regulations, cultural abilities and all those things. And we have management. Then we have Web 3.0, that is the extensions of the web versions and so on. Okay. Then what exactly is this innovation?
I'm sorry for the interruption.
Yes, sir.
I think you are not okay. Now only this the slide
Is
has
it
been
changing?
moved. Okay, okay. You can share it with the full screen mode. That is Sheen's complete sharing. Okay.
Okay. Just a
Now
second.
okay, ma'am.
Can you
Remarkably
see now?
should enduring. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Uh, so this is now if I take up a typical example of an innovation. Today, let us look at our Silicon Valley. Now, what is Silicon Valley? Every day there is change happening in Silicon Valley. Every day our softwares change. Every day our chips change. Every day our way of working style change. And every day new business come up, right? Startups come up, new ideas come up. So all this is nothing but a concept of innovation. So how exactly this innovation, if I talk about Silicon Valley, how exactly this innovation is happening? Now, if you see the graph, initially your whole of the thing started, your whole computer concept, everything started. The innovation started with something called as defense. Now, when I start with the defense, then it went into integrated circuits, something very specific, that is your ICs. Then from the ICs, then we shifted to something called as personal computers. Then from the personal computers, now if you see, initial days the computers were CRT tubes. Now today you have LEDs as computers, right? Then from computers, we went on to internet. That was basics. Now from internet, we have gone down to Web 2.0. Even we have gone down to Web 3. So that's all about when I'm talking about the components. Now, if I talk about the startups, I start with something called as DNA, biology, typically. Then this biology got something into genomics, technology and biology put together. Then now it has become personalized medicine. Now initially it was like you go to a doctor, doctor will prescribe something, take that prescription, go down to the medical store, and then based on the prescription and the doctor, the person in the medical store used to give you the medicine. But today what, you have apps in your mobile where sitting in your house, you order something on the app comes, the medicines reach your house. So how things have been innovated. So now if I talk about energy, initially we said consuming energy is good, so energy efficiency. Now today we talk about clean energy. We say green computing, we say clean energy. Though energy is there, we said initially consumption of energy to be minimized. Now we are talking about clean energy. Now see how things are changing. Starting from the defense concept, we came down to the change in the computers till web. Now, if I talk about biology concepts, then biology, then we integrated technology to this biology. We became genomics. And then from genomics, today we have personalized medicines. Then from, if I talk about energy efficiency, energy consumption, efficiency, then I say now today I talk about green computing or clean energy. Now these are the different innovations that are happening in Silicon Valley. If I take an example, this is the basic innovations that are happening. So what is that they're doing? Something is existing, they're trying to modify it, or they're trying to update it, or they're trying to add up something. Now, if you say DNA was already existing as a biology, now what we did, we added technology to this DNA and we said, why only biology? Let us bring back to this biology to technology, engineering concepts. So that's how genomics came. So like this, any reinventing that is happening is nothing but basically a innovation. What are the milestones if I talk about Silicon Valley innovation? What are the different milestones? Now, as I said in the previous slide, initially it started with vacuum tubes, then transistors, then semiconductors, then ICs, then personal computers, then we started having networking. Now today we have everything on social media. distributed computing, social media completely. Everything is available for me. Okay, so that's how we are having changes in something existing, or we are adding something new to the existing and making something different. So that's innovation that is happening as of now. Is this innovation applicable only for this technology related things, or is this innovation happening somewhere else too? Yes, it is happening. Now, in the same Silicon Valley where this innovation is happening, when I'm talking about technology, Silicon Valley innovation is also happening in some other concepts. What? So, something like the business models. Now, where I'm saying initially it was like I used to go to shop, buy things, come back, but today I sit at home, put everything on the internet, I order online, right? So that's internet-based commerce. Then free search. Initially, how I used to search, I used to go to one place, take the address, search it, roam around to get that particular address. Today, nothing. Sit in the house, type something in the Google, and you will get all the details. So that's free search. Music. Now there initially I used to go to buy cassettes. That time magnetic tapes, cassettes. Then later on CDs started coming. Today I don't buy anything. Why? Because everything is downloadable for me. I can download everything. Now you say Raga, you say multiple things, Spotify and all those things, Apple iTunes. All this is nothing but innovation with respect to the music downloads. Social networking. Initially, for us, social networking was something like you sit in a common place, a park, bench somewhere, you talk with your neighbors, chat for some time, go back home. Today, it is not like that. Today, we hardly find person to person talking with each other, but rather, we are very much connected with each other through Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitters, and all those things. So that's social networking. Today, the concept of social networking is come into the technology for us. A la carte television. Once upon a time, if you take television, we only had DD channels, Doordarshan channels. Then slowly started coming the regional channels. Then started the dish concept. Now today, what is that? Even though we have a dish, we have multiple OTT platforms. We say today OTT platforms. We say Amazon Prime, we have Netflix, we have Z5, or we have Disney Hotstar. So multiple a la carte television. So that's something, the innovation that is happening in television concept. Like that, we also have something called as on-demand delivery. Now you ask somebody home delivery, he comes. Or if you see Uber, Ola, the taxis, the autos that come to us. So you have a request and they are reaching you and they are serving you. So this is on-demand delivery. That means to say what? Innovation is not happening only in the concept of technology. It is happening in every walk of life. Be it your television, be it your lifestyle you're living, or be the way you're working, or the place where you're working, everywhere, innovation is happening. And these are some of the examples that are happening. This is not only with respect to the Silicon Valley, this is even with respect to us also. Then, how is innovation growing? Is it growing? Yes, it is growing. How it is growing? Now, because of this innovation, what is happening? You have a job growth. Now, if you see today, once upon a time, jobs were only with respect to government jobs and small scale industries. But today, you see, you have plenty of jobs because of this innovation. You have plenty of jobs in the name of automation, right? The old manufacturing industries also started converting to automation. Rather than man-made, a machine control based. So somebody has to deliver that machine control. So somebody has to program that. So you have a job over there. Now, because our computers started from the semiconductor vacuum tubes to the web, so somebody has to deliver the content. So there are jobs. So there is a rapid growth, job growth. Then because of this rapid job growth, you also need education. So your current youth is well educated, absolutely perfectly educated. Once upon a time, if you do 10th or if you do BA, it was too good. You are the best. But today, The person is a MBBS? No, he is MD, FRCS, something. Or if he is BE, he is MTech, PhD, PDF, it keeps going. So it is something like you are absolutely well educated today. Now, because of this well education, as just now, just few minutes back, principal said, now I do something, I know what I have done is very important, but I don't know how to preserve that importance to me. That time there was no awareness of this preservance, but today we do have this awareness, because of which what we are talking about is the patent registration. Now, because youth is well educated, so what they want, okay, this is something new, nobody has done, so I want the rights to be preserved with me. If somebody wants to use this, they should take my permission and then use it. So how do I give that permission? So that permission concept was what has today come as patent registration. So number of patent registration today are increasing. Why? Because youth is educated, so they have new innovative ideas. So they are coming up with the ideas, or they are modifying the existing ideas, which is coming up as a new and as a useful for the society. So what they are trying to do now, they are increasing the patent registration. Now, because of that, what is happening? Startups are also growing. Too many startups today. Once upon a time, starting a business was very crucial, very tough. Think of the blaze, think of the machinery, think of the cost, think of the manpower, so many things. Today, no. Now you know what you are supposed to do, what is your idea, and you know what is the market value for that particular idea. So you do a startup with a little amount. And there are multiple companies even to give the startup money also. So that means to say what? It is not only the technology that is growing, economically also we are growing. So then, because of this, what is happening? Mega venture capital deals. So that's what I said. As the startups are growing, because new ideas are coming up, there is a requirement in the market. So there is some idea which is very helpful for the market, but the person doesn't have the money. So there is another person who has plenty of money, who can pump in the money for this particular person to start up. So he is pumping his money to this particular idea so that he can capture the market. So there is a venture capitalist also is growing. Initially it was like, oh, if I take money as a loan, it used to be 1 rupee, 10 rupee. Today, no, nobody is bothered about how much loan to be given, where to be given, because he knows from where he can get this money, the venture capitalist, and he knows the idea is very genuine and it is the need of the market. So startups are growing. So because startups are growing, even venture capitalists are also growing. So that means to say what? Innovation is helping everybody to grow in terms of job, in terms of education, in terms of patent registration, in terms of startups, in terms of venture capitalists. Now, if this is innovation, then what is innovation 2.0? Okay. Now, this is innovation. So, if I take a typical technical definition, defining innovation is a difficult task. But innovation means different things to different people. Now, for me, it can be invention, but for others, it can be innovation. Means a change, a modification. So innovation basically can be defined as the ability to use knowledge to develop and apply new ideas that result in changes. So it can be changes in your own personal life, societal life, or your organizational structure. Change can be anything. Okay. So in that case, if I look into, then let us see what exactly is innovation as per the trend. It can be an introduction of a new product or modification, a new process or a technology, or discovery of a new market, or development of new services of supply of raw materials. Or if I go back and see what it is, now if you see, innovation is there everywhere. As I said, now once upon a time, India was a rich cultural heritage. Even today we are. But see the diversity we have in this. So that means there is innovation. Now, once upon a time, if you look at our lifestyle of the grandmothers, and today, if you look at the lifestyle of our kids, there is a lot of changes. Now, that's nothing but basically, ma'am, this is change. How can you say this innovation? Why? Because I'm saying this is innovation, the change. Why? Because the lifestyle has changed. It is not the same lifestyle. Grandmother never had anything called as mobile or never had anything called as laptop. Today, you see every child has got a laptop in his hands, every child has got a mobile in his hands. Grandmother never had anything called a social networking. She used to go to a adjacent house to talk, or she used to sit in a common place. But today, it is not like that. We are
I'm
very,
sorry for the interruption.
yes, please.
Share with the full screen mode, madam. With the F5, press F5.
I shared that, sir, I think, but sir, is it now possible that I am changing the slide and it is visible to you?
Yeah, the screen is visible. If you put full screen mode, F5, and complete sharing. Instead of window sharing, full share mode.
Okay, just a second. No, sir, I think I'm.
Windows full sharing with F5. That's F5. Yes. Okay.
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 Now you're able to see the change in the slide, sir?
Screen slide. Now let us look at certain details, right?
Right now, the screen is what could be the innovation 2.0.
Yeah, innovation and innovation 2.0.
Can you see what is the slide as innovation? What is innovation slide?
No.
Now let us look at certain
Yes,
details of
correct.
innovation. Okay.
Yes.
And this one, the next slide.
Not
No.
visible. Not visible. Okay. Yes, visible.
Now it is visible.
Yeah, visible.
Sir, if I'm doing a screen sharing, I am not able to. Now it is visible.
Yes.
Change is visible.
What is innovation?
No, I am in why. Why is innovation needed?
No change right now.
Ma'am, can you do
Okay.
entire screen?
Pardon?
Share entire screen option. Can you go with that, ma'am?
If I'm sharing the entire screen, the basic problem is I'm not getting my PPT over there. I'm not getting my PPT over here. Okay, wait, just a second. Here. Okay. You are able to see my screen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to see the PPT which I have opened?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now you can do that share screen. Yes, ma'am. Now it's okay.
Now we are able to see the changes in the slide, please.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much. So sorry for this disturbance. So now I said there is a change happening everywhere. It is not only with respect to technology, it is also with respect to the human living, the culture, the society, the way of working, everything. So, in that case, why are we needing this change? Are we ready for this change? If yes, why? So today we are ready for this change. Why? Because we have a better solution. There is a better solution. Why? Because that's a necessary global. Now imagine I say no, nothing doing. You're not supposed to use mobile. Will you agree? You'll always say no. Why? Because today mobile has become a part of our life. So mobile is an innovation for us. So which is very much needed. So That's the reason innovation is needed. Now, these challenges provide a significant opportunity. Now, as we start growing, change in the lifestyle. Where is the change in the lifestyle? I have healthcare, I have transportation, I have social improvements, I have climate change, everything is changing today. Now, as I'm changing everything, there is a need for innovation. Now, because there is a need for innovation, so there is also a need for a newer ideas or a modified version of the existing ideas. Now, let us take a simple example. Compare the Indianized traditional values among the people of different generations. Now, that's what I said today. Just now I spoke that only. You imagine your grandmother and today your children. See how much difference there is. Now, your grandmother never knew about anything. She never knew anything at all. Technology, no. Lifestyle, no. Working, no. But today you see, so your child knows what it has to do in the future. Why? Because it has got all the technologies available for it. So it is having this mobile with it. It is having the laptop or computers with it. It has internet in it. Everything is there. So your child knows what it has to do in the future. Whereas does your grandmother knew at that time what she has to do in the future? No. So this is basically the change that is happening now. Because of this change, innovation is inevitable for us. Innovation, if I say in a nutshell, is nothing but all about creativity or creativity in the mindset. What is, first of all, there is a huge confusion that it is innovation. And now I'm saying innovation is creativity or creative mindset. Now let us look what exactly is this. What is innovation? What is creativity? What is mindset? And why am I giving that technical name called as an innovation? Now, creativity is basically an ability to bring something new into being, yes, that did not exist before. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Okay, fine. Creativity comprises the development of entirely new systems, absolutely new. Nothing is existing, so something new has come up for me. Okay, so a combination, it can be a combination, that new can be a combination of what? Absolutely new, or it can be a combination of the old information plus the new information put together. That has given rise to a different information. Now that's what basically I'm talking about biology. DNA, we knew very well DNA. We know what is happening in the DNA, what is genome sequence, what is how the DNAs are crossed, how mutations happen. All we knew. Biologically, we knew. Now imagine the same thing happening in technology for us. Huh? Technology, DNA. Where is DNA in technology? So that is where I have this concept called as genomics. I have put in, it's a blend. DNA is already there, a biology. I have brought in the technology. I have mixed this both two and I have put that into the usage. That's the creativity that I'm having. This is creativity, then what is innovation? That new thing that I have brought in because of this creativity is what is innovation. So that is what is the creativity. Okay. So convergent thinking is fixed. So now what type of thinking I can have? One, convergent thinking, which is fixed, structural, logical, and I know I have to be specific, but there is something called as divergent thinking. Now convergent thinking is something like, okay, I need to buy this mobile. The next year I need to save my money this much. So these are the different policies I have to take. These are the different fixed deposits I have to take. Okay. So this is something called as convergent thinking. Means, sir, I know what I have to do in the future. So accordingly, I'm systematically doing something. Thinking is different. Now, did your grandmother ever think of saving? She saved. But how did she save? She kept little money in that rice bag. She kept little money in that dal bag. She kept little money in that cupboard. So like that saving was there. Now that saving today, if you see, today I'm saying, okay, I want to save, but I want to have all these comforts. So accordingly, I am planning. So this is nothing but the creativity, but this creativity is what is called as convergent thinking, where there is a thought process, but I'm trying to implement this thought process in a systematic steps. Okay. There is another type of thinking called as divergent thinking. This is free. It is totally imaginative. Now that's what we today we saw out of blue. A highly imaginary we say. It's impossible we say. Now such type of thinking is what is called as divergent thinking. There is no systematic approach there. Now I am nowhere say, I'll say, I want all of a sudden 1 crore lottery. 1 crore lottery, all of a sudden. How do I get that? I don't have an idea. How do I get that 1 crore? 1 crore can be got to a lottery, or I can go and put a robbery in the bank, or I can kill somebody. It can be anything. But 1 crore is what I need. Now that's divergent thinking. Means it is totally imagination. There is no systematic approach, nothing. There is one type of creativity, that is what is called as convergent thinking, where I know what I have to do and how I have to achieve what I want to. There is one thing, the other thing called as I want this, but I'm not sure how I want this. So then how is this matching with us? How is this matching with the innovation for us? Your innovation is nothing but called as controlled divergence. It's completely free imagination, but I have a control on this imagination. So that means to say what? I want the 1 crore, but I'm very specific that I don't want to kill somebody or I don't want to rob a bank. But somewhere I want. Either I will do a startup, I'll do a business, or I will buy a lottery, something. It can be something, but I'm not sure how am I going to get. Now this control way of this divergent thinking basically is nothing but the productivity of creativity. So if I have a productive creativity which consists of a controlled divergent thinking, then that what emits out of this productive creativity is nothing but innovation. Now this innovation can be absolutely new, which is not at all existing, or something, a combination of a new and a old, and which has given rise to a different concept. How do I get this concept of creativity? Now I'll identify a problem, I will analyze the problem, then I get the idea generation, then I'll evaluate it and I'll realize. Why did I want 1 crore? What was the reason for 1 crore for me? Because I had an issue, financial issue. That is problem identification. So what is that I did? Okay, I had financial issues. So I started analyzing how should I solve this financial issue. So I said, okay, I want 1 crore. That's idea generation. So then what I did, how am I going to get this 1 crore? What are the different ways through which I can get this 1 crore? So that's evaluation. Now, did I get this because of this idea? Did I get this 1 crore? Is what is my realization. If I get it, and if it is a legal thing, that means it's an innovation that is happening. So the same way, everybody can do. So that's how the startup started for you, basically, the concept of the startups. There was an issue, they identified the issue, they analyzed the issue, then there was a different idea of solving this issue, which they tried, implemented, released to the market, and they found that it works out. So that's realization. So these are the stadiums of creative problem solving. Then, if it is, this is creative problem solving, how is it connected to innovation? That is the economic implementation. Only the economic implementation of an idea can be called as innovation. You do something for yourself and keep it, that doesn't become innovation. You do something for yourself and release it into the market for the benefit of all like you, then that becomes innovation. If you do it something for yourself and that is benefiting only you, that's creativity. but you release it for the use of the society or other people who are something like you, who are in need like you, and you release that to them, that becomes a innovation, basically. So a new idea is not inevitably the result of a creative thinking, but can be based on, excuse me, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. You have something to ask? Or kindly mute yourself if you don't have anything to ask. Thank you. So that's innovation. Your creative thinking, if it is up to you, that's creative thinking. But your creative thinking, if you release it and it becomes useful to others also, then that becomes a innovation. So that's how the creativity concept and the innovation are related to each other. So now if I say innovation includes any type of change performed on a process. It can be anything. Innovation can be on anything. It need not have to be a new thing that has to come. It can be a modification, update. It can be on a process, or it can be a new thing, information, anything. Anything it can be, so that it is useful for others also. Not only for you, but for others also. How does this basically, if I put it in a technical form, how does this innovation look like? What are the different steps that go into the complete process of the innovation? One, its stimulus of innovation is basically by the identification of the problem. Identify the problem. Now, how do I identify the problem? There is a problem I can see. Okay. Now, based on this problem, you start finding ideas. How do you find? You think for yourself the different ideas, or you tell your friend, man, this is the problem. I am not able to understand how to solve this. So he gives you an idea. So it can be a collection of the ideas from somewhere existing. Already somebody has said this. You recall, my grandmother, my grandfather told like this. Or you give it to your friend and say, oh, he has given some ideas. So collection of ideas, then put these ideas together and see how you can work on this idea. Now you have 10 ideas because of this collection. Now you select one particular idea and say, okay, this might be feasible. So how do you prove that that is feasible? Come to the screen. Okay. Now I have decided that this will be the idea. Now start evaluating this particular idea. This is only feasible for me or even for the society. Evaluate it, then take a decision, and you feel that no, this is capable of solving the problem in the society also or for other people also, implement it and release it into the market to check whether this is new, it is helping somebody, or it is already existing something and there is no innovation in it. So this is how basically your innovation process works. If that was all innovation, then what is innovation to? Excuse me. Hello. If you have something to ask, please ask. Else, please mute yourself. So, a new form of innovation that leverages emerging social and technological trends. So, now comes into the picture innovation 2, where I'm saying innovation is not only with respect to something new, it also involves the social and technological benefits. If I'm able to involve the social cause or I'm able to involve the technological benefits, then only I say that that's an extension of the current innovation. So from the point of view of business, this translates into the idea of utilizing user communities with the help of newer web tools. So that means to say what now? Initially it was one person coming up, doing something, releasing it. Now it is not one person, it is a set of people. Now the set of people can be a society or a group of people or some common social issues which I have picked up, societal issues, anything, but which is helpful for the society as well as the technology benefit. This is what is innovation 2.0. This innovation is what is called as open innovation. So it's also being considered. Why? Because creativity with it, initially it was from self, but now it is not from self. It is a group of people. So what is that? Now somebody says, startup, I want to fund the startup, but you get in the ideas. So need not have to be that idea has to be the solely of that particular person. It can be from somebody else brought and then implemented, or it can be a group of people who are putting it up together, or something that is existing, visible and analyzed. So that's what is the open innovation 2. Innovation 2 only with respect to society and technology, but now it has become open innovation. That means it is not by only the person who is bringing up this innovation, but rather it is a network of some things put together, then it becomes a innovation. So open innovation is a model based on the thought that companies can really benefit from the free bi-directional flow of creative ideas and thus innovations from both within and outside the company. So it is not only that company. If I take company, it's not only that company is getting benefited. No, it is the other side. If the customers reject the product, what will happen? The product will never work. So it is something bi-directional. The customers are also happy buying the product, which is very new, and the company is also growing. Now, this type of innovation is what is called as open innovation. So it is open to external ideas also. So it looks at the trends in the social and technological aspects, and further improvement opportunities are being explored. Now, innovation was initially starting one person doing things, but now innovation 2 is not about one person doing things. It is a group. Now, it can be a technological group, or it can be a group of people, or it can be a social cause, or it can be anything. But it is not a single person. Then what is the difference between invention and innovation? Invention is something absolutely new. Nothing was existing. It's absolutely new. Innovation is something modification of the existing. Now something like, now if I have to explain this, invention of the phone by Graham Bell is invention. Why? Because we never had anything called as communication at all. It was Graham Bell who said that, okay, you can communicate between two people like this. That's invention. Today, what is that we are having is innovation. That means to say what? At that time, Graham Bell said that communication is possible using a wired thing. So what happened? Telephone started. In initial days, the telephones were two things. One piece you have to keep it in the ear, one piece you have to keep it near the mouth to talk. Okay. Now later on, what happened? The black boxes started coming, where you have one black box with one cradle and one round this one, which will keep rotating the numbers. You are tired of that, so what they did, that round rotating thing, tring rotating thing, they removed and they put buttons. Okay. Buttons, perfect. Then somebody said, no man, I'm tired because phone, one particular place, if I have to talk, I have to come exactly to that particular point because landline cannot be moved. So then they said, no, I want something which I can hold in the hand, roam around in the house and talk. So that came a concept called as cordless phone. That's innovation. Then I said, only in the house, if I go out, then how can I talk? I have to wait. Then came the concept called as mobile. Very good. Initially, mobiles used to be like your cordless phones, Motorola period. Later on, what happened? Such big phones in the pocket used to be very tough. So what they did, they shrink the size of the phone. Today, if you see, your phone is handheld, lightweight, and today you look into the designs of the phones. Then phone started, Nokia phone started. Oh, small mobile, very good. Then you said, what man, only phone, I can't get communicated with anybody. So I want internet. Okay, internet was added. That's innovation. So internet in the phone, good. Now because of this internet, what happened? I wanted socializing. So I said, I want social network. Then if you remember, in the olden days, we had one social networking site called as Orkut that started. Okay, so we started slowly socializing. Then that closed. Today we have Facebook. Then Facebook started. Oh, good. We used to post pictures, everything there. Today, not only Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have multiple things for socializing. And then what? Now I say, I don't say mobile, I say smartphones. Why do I say smartphone? I can play games in that. I have internet 24/7. I have internet. I can do calls. I can socialize. I can do everything. So this is innovation. But what is invention? The communication that was developed by Graham Bell, saying that, okay, two people can communicate, even though they are far apart, they can still communicate. That he said that concept of telephone. So that's invention. Now on that invention, what happened? From that telephone, multiple things started changing as per the requirement of the society and the technology. So that become innovation for us. So that's the basic difference between invention and innovation. Or if you see wheel, wheel was an invention. Now that wheel can be a bullock cart wheel, or it can be a horse cart wheel, auto wheel, car wheel, scooter wheel, or any wheel, bus wheel, anything. Now that's innovation. A wheel is an invention, but that usage of this wheel in different ways. The same wheel, I put it in the form of small tire into a car, a big tire for a bus, or a little big tire for a trailer, or an iron wheel for the locomotives, that is the engines. But everything is a wheel. So that wheel concept was an invention, but the rest of the usage of this wheel, the regular time of society or in the regular basis, is what is innovation. So that's the basic difference between invention and innovation. So that's the basic. The invention is the generation of an idea that can resolve a technical problem. That's invention. If I have to talk technical definition, that's the technical definition for invention. Innovation can be considered as an interactive process that has place in different phases of product construction. So something very new, absolutely new, nothing. That's invention. And usage of that invention in different forms can be innovation. Now that's the basic example that I was talking about, the phone. Phone itself was an invention because nobody said that there could be a possibility of communication. So that possibility of communication was an invention. Later on, the changes that happened in this possibility of the communication were innovation. Then, how did this innovation happen for us? What is the progress of this innovation for us from the past? Now, if you see in 1930, it was just basically a technology push. So what? A simple linear sequential process. Basically, emphasis was on R&D. Simple process. I'll do this, after this, after this, after this. Technology. I wanted to change a little bit of technology. Then in 1960s, it was based on market. Okay, I will do emphasis in R&D, but how will I do? I will pick the ideas from the market. Okay, based on the requirement in the market, I will do R&D. So that was in 1960s. In 1970s, I had something called as coupling model. So that means to say what? Now I am also looking forward for feedbacks. Okay, I took this idea from the market. I released into the market to check what is the feedback, whether it is right, wrong, improvement needed, anything. So that's, I'm working for a feedback loops. So I release, I take the feedback, I change, and again I release. So that's what is called as coupling model. That was in 1970s. In 80s, it became interactive model. Not only with the organization, I also started having connectivity with other people so that everything comes into picture. Not only market, not only the R&D organization, everybody who was involved or who is the usage of that, all started coming together to work so that they say whether it is a success or it is a failure. So that's interactive model. That was in 80s. If you see in 90s, now it became a network model. It is not one place. Now I'm sitting here, some 10 people put together, we will talk, we will do, that's interactive model. Now it is not like that. 10 people are here in this place, 10 people are somewhere in Chennai, 5 people are somewhere in Bangalore, 5 people are somewhere in US. So all of us are talking together and then coming up to a common conclusion. That's networking model and an R&D on that. So that's the 90s model. That's how innovation started in 90s. In 200, it is open innovation. Open innovation. Now innovation is with respect to society or technological issues. Very specific. So I am doing R&D with respect to either social issues or technological issues. The technological issues, if I want, now that is how our mobiles came into picture. So that's the open innovation. Currently, what we are doing, we are extending the same innovation network. So now what is that I am doing? I am combining this open innovation with the network model. Open innovation, anybody can do anything, but with respect to social and technology. So I say, I am doing this for Bangalore. Is this feasible to work in New York? Or is this feasible to work in Japan? If yes, then it can be done. No, it is applicable only in Bangalore. It doesn't work in Chennai. It doesn't work in Japan. Then it is not feasible. If it is feasible, something which I am working in Bangalore, it is feasible in Chennai, it's feasible in Bangalore, it's feasible in Japan, it's feasible in Europe, UK, then such an innovation is what is called as extended innovation network. Now that is what is happening today here. That is what is the innovation that we are working today. It is not innovation at one place, but rather we are spreading it up to the globe and trying to see whether it is feasible or not. So what is, in that case, if it is open innovation, then how is this open innovation happening? What are the characteristics of this? It is one, coordination and mediation, interdisciplinary and heterogeneity, emphasis on historical, cultural, organizational precondition, and increased involvement of users. So what? First, because it is network, so coordination is compulsory. Now 10 people sitting in Bangalore, if they don't talk with some people in Chennai, how are they going to solve the problem of Chennai? So there is a coordination between the people sitting in the Chennai and people sitting in Bangalore. Coordination done. Interdisciplinary. Here I am doing in biology. If Chennai people are also doing in biology, what point? They are putting into technology. I am doing in biology. We have communication. So we are clubbing technology and biology together to make something. So that's interdisciplinary, heterogeneity. Emphasis on historical. So I'm doing something which is not against the culture or not against the history of the place. So something that goes against the culture is not acceptable. So emphasis on the history, culture, and the organization. Plus, if I'm doing something, I'm releasing it into the market, I also need to look into the feedback of the market. somebody should be there to use it, right? If somebody is using it, how he is feeling? Is this right or he needs changes? What are the different features he wants or what is it that he is looking forward to? So involvement of the users. Or if I'm talking about cultural issues, involvement of the citizens. So these are the main characteristics. If we follow, then I'm saying that I am working towards open innovation or innovation 2.0. How do I get this innovation 2.0? What are the sources? One, co-creation. That means I'm sitting with the customers, trying to understand their requirement, using their requirements, then trying to create. So that's co-creation. One is the co-creation source. The other one is the global knowledge. That means accessing and combining globally dispersed knowledge. So that's what I said. I'm sitting here in Mangalore doing something with only Mangalore people is an innovation only for Mangalore. Rather, I sit and talk with people sitting in Chennai. In collaboration with them, I do something which is useful for Mangalore and Chennai. That's global knowledge. So that's the other source for the innovation. The other one is global challenges. Now, something which is feasible in Mangalore, if it is not feasible in Chennai, how do I change that and present it so that it becomes feasible? So anything that is done in one place need not have to be accepted in the other place as it is. It needs changes. So what? With respect to environmental concept, with respect to the requirement over there. So that's global challenges. Now, based on the global challenges, you can decide whether it is feasible there or not, or how it can be changed, modified accordingly. Next, public sector challenges. Pressure on public services create new businesses. Now imagine today what happened. Once upon a time, if you see, there were hardly any diesel engines. It was only coal engines. That old black coal engines. Then what happened? They said what? Coal started diminishing. There was shortage of coal. Then what happened? They said, okay, we will shift to something better. So what was at that time plentifully available was petrol and diesel. They said, okay, we will shift to engines which will take diesel rather than coal. One reason for shifting, why? Coal was diminishing. Second, because of the coal, pollution was happening too big. Now, if you see, I am not sure how many of you have traveled in coal engines, but as far as my experience goes, I have traveled in coal engine. So what it says, when you travel in a coal engine, at that time there was no concept of ACs at all. It was all second class coaches. So you travel in the coal engine, you sit next to your window. After some times, you wipe your face with the kerchief and you can see the black thing on the kerchief. That is because of the residue that was coming out, the coal residue. So that was creating allergy, breathing problems with the people. So what happened? Societal problems started coming. So what they did, they shifted from coal to diesel. Now today they're slowly trying to shift from diesel to electric. Why? Because diesel is becoming costlier. Now diesel is diminishing for us. Now creating this diesel and then working on huge amount of diesel is becoming more costly. So what they're doing, they're slowly trying to shift towards the electric engine. So this is something a public sector challenges. So that means I want now coal engine means the whole night you should do it tomorrow morning. But whereas the diesel had better power, speed, everything. So what happened? Better cost, better speed. So because cost is less, so what happened? Coal cost is more, ticket cost is more. So what happened? Today we are having 3 AC, 2 AC, all this. Initially there was no ACs at all. Because of this diesel, we also had the concept of AC started. So they integrated this ACs into the coaches. So which was giving power to the AC coaches. So that's how this public sector issues with the people creates new business. So that's public sector challenges. New role of technology, as I said, I don't want mobile, I want a smartphone. So that's role of technology. Now imagine today you live one day without your mobile phone in the hand. Switch off your mobile phone, keep it aside that whole day, 24 hours. Keep it aside and you start living. Now you yourself can see your problems, or you yourself can see the suffocation you are going. So that's the role of technology. Today you cannot stay without this mobile phone even for 1 hour. Now that's what the technology has made to you. Why? Because you cannot get communicated, you cannot get any networking, you cannot talk to anybody. So that's the sources. These are the different sources for innovation. The typical innovation process looks something like this. It starts with the idea, then the idea gets developed, then it gets launched, and then a feedback after the launch. So tells what is successful or needs to be renovated. If I take a typical example, now idea is idea of the Google, Yahoo, Microsoft today what they are doing. So what is that? Now initially if you see Google search was very slow. Now today if you see Google search, today they are using AIs in the Google search, so it's very fast. So that means how it is changing. It is changing as per the requirement. So idea, why did it change? Just a search. Why did it change? Because they had something called as post-launch. Means after launching that search, they found that these were the basic issues that people were finding when they use this Google search. So what they did, they started improvising it. They started improvising so much they improvised that today Google has AI implemented in the search. So that's the reason today if you see, if you open any Google, if you have browsed somewhere something, you can see the ads, advertisements, right? Based on what you have browsed previously. They give you some advertisement, basic advertisement based on your interest. So that's nothing but basically a innovation process that is going on. This is again the same, but in a nutshell, if I put, it is invention, then the feasibility of this invention, then implementation, operation, disposal, now that becomes innovation. In a nutshell, if I put it in a nutshell, there is absolutely something new, that's invention. Then I am implementing feasibility, looking at the feasibility of the invention and then implementing it and then putting it out into the market to check. Now, if it is working, that becomes innovation. So that's a typical process of innovation. So we can have our own innovation to process model. Now, for example, you do have something, if I take it in a layman language, the SDLC, the process models. So I do have in SDLC the different process models. So I can pick up any of the process models to work with it. Now, if you look very typically for the example of innovation too, now you are having smart cities today, right? Now they use a process called as quadruple helix innovation model. Now what is that? Now they are having a collaboration between government, industry, academia and citizens. So that means it is not one type of people who are collaborating. It is the industry who is building up for the smart cities, the government which is approving for the smart cities, the academicians who are shifting towards the smart cities, and the citizens who are using the smart cities. So all the people are coming together to make this particular concept of smart cities. So this type of innovation what we are using today is what is called as quadruple helix innovation model. Quadruple because 4 things are involved in this. If I pick up into the case study of the social innovation, basically a new processes, social innovation, there is new processes that is nothing but how you communicate between each other. Cooperation and communication, new contents, that is products that come out, and the new goals, social values. Now imagine if I am able to, today I am having mobiles. Now, if you see a few days back or 1 or 2 years back, children were so much addicted to this mobile that they started playing games. Now, recently, I think just 2-3 years back, PUBG was a game which was madly followed by people, and there were huge number of incidents telling that this boy played for this many lakhs from this mother's account, this boy played this many lakhs from the father's account, or this much of credit card amount was used for playing this PUBG. Because of this much of amount, this boy committed suicide because of playing PUBG. And this boy was dropped out, this girl. So you had so many issues with that, right? So now your goals were set in such a way gaming was good. But what happened? It took an adverse effect there. Playing games is good, but to what level you play the games, that was not controlled. So what happened? You started getting too many things. So what happened? PUBG was banned. PUBG banned. So when I'm talking about innovation, I also look into the societal issues that are going to come up. Then why is social innovation needed for us? Because I want to have a social change, development, crisis, grand challenges. Okay. So what it is? Innovation and technologies. Initially, we never had something called as test tube babies. Today, we have the concept of test tube babies. That's what we call it as something called as IVFs. Initially, we never had anything called as mobile, right? Today, we have mobiles. So what happened? Everywhere, the towers, mobile towers are there for us, right? That's what. And today, what we do? We are trying to implement the replica of the brain. And we say that what? Artificial intelligence. Now, that's innovation. So evolution of the brains, innovative technologies. So that means collaborative intelligence and intelligent collaboration now gives you something called as cultural revolution. Collaborative intelligence is two intelligent minds talking with each other. Intelligent collaboration means when they talk with each other, the best outcome that comes, the positive outcome that comes, which is helpful for the societal change, is what is called as cultural revolution. Okay? All innovations are socially relevant. Approaching the social dimensions of the innovations are nothing but novelty of rights, techniques, customs, manners. Now imagine today, once upon a time, if you look at yourself or your parents look at yourself, how you used to respect teachers. When a teacher is coming, you used to wish, you used to talk to them, stand aside for him to go. Today, how is the situation? Now you yourself can give me the answer for those. How your students react to you. There are hardly students who respect the teachers today. I'm not saying there are no. I say hardly. A handful of students who respect. Today, students don't have respect on teachers. Why? Because they feel that the knowledge that a teacher is going to give is already available for them in the Google. So then what is that the teacher is giving for them? So that means to say what? The technological innovations has come up to such an extent that today people don't think of anything about the teacher. So that's what the manners, customs, changes, we are having changes. So what it is basically, innovation is not just an economic mechanism or a technical process, it is all about the social phenomenon. So that means to say what? Initially innovation was something called as technology, but today it is not only technology, it is all about a social phenomenon. A technology that comes into picture without harming the social rights, then it is innovation. Else, you have the repercussions of your innovation. Now that's what I gave the example as PUBG today. Few days back, gaming was very good. But later on, the gaming went into an extent that people started losing money. They started losing life out of fear. They started dropping out of colleges, studies and all. So what happened? That social event had to be put a stop. So they banned that games. So the social effects. So your innovation should be towards solving the social problems, but not increasing your social problems. So social, if I say social innovations are new practices for resolving societal challenges which are adapted and utilized by the individual, social groups, and organization concerned. So when I say social innovation, it is all about solving societal changes, but without causing harm to the society. Now that's what is the distinction between idea and implementation. So idea becomes an innovation in the process of social implementation. So where are the societal changes happening? Science and education and training. If I look into science education and training, the old, we had university, we had compulsory education, we should go through kindergarten, pedagogy and all. Today, nothing such. Technology enhanced learning. Today we talk everything online. Okay. Wikipedia, we talk about models. Okay. So that's how innovation has happened with respect to the social. When I talk about science, education and training. When I talk about work, employment and the economy, initially we had trade unions, chamber of commerce and all. Today we have flexi time wage records, right? Social entrepreneurship, the customers relationship, CSR. So if I talk about technology machineries, norms and standardizations, that time I used to find everything as if any software is needed, I used to buy the software, license the software, standardizations, any electrical ISI mark, any steel and all. But today we have everything open source. We talk about Linux, which is open source. We talk about anything which is open source. So today technologies majority are open source rather than standardization and licensing. If I talk about democracy, politics and justice, then at time it was ethic democracy, the state has a juristic person. Today, citizens are democracy. Whatever citizens talk, that is taken into consideration. At that time, political people used to talk. Today, citizens talk. Social and healthcare system, social security, retirement schemes, welfare state, all these were there in the olden days. Today, reforms of financing. At that time, we never had something called as mutual funds. Today, we have mutual funds. So, reformation of financing and access to welfare. So what are the objectives of social innovations? Three perspectives to analyze objectives and impact. One, social demand. Is there a requirement? Social challenge. Are we going against it so that people will not accept or will accept? The next is systematic change. If I want to do a change, is it going to happen in a night, overnight? No, it will take time. So how am I going to plan this time? The systematic change. So if I'm able to do this, then I say that I am doing a societal innovation. So many types of innovation, of societal innovation. In general, if I say innovation, either for economic or social objectives, or there may be technology based innovations, or they can be in the form of a regulation. So innovation addressing primary economic objectives. If I talk about economic objectives, it can be product. Now innovation can happen where? It can be happening in mainly in the objectives or in the technology or in the regulation forms. Okay. If I'm talking about the objectives, where are the innovations happening? They are happening in products. They are happening in processes. Means the process that we follow to do the 10 product. Their innovations are happening. Then they are happening in organizational measures. How is happening in organizational measure? Initially, no company had anything. Then we started something called a CMM level company, ISO standard companies, right? So that's innovation. Then marketing. Today we have marketing strategies. Initially, we never had. Initially, one person with one bag with so many products used to come day to day to the door. Today, can you see anybody coming door to door? It's rarely. So you have change in marketing strategies. If I have to work with the social objectives, if it is economic objectives, all this. If I have to work with social objectives, what are the innovation? One, roles. what one person should do, what CEO should do, what corporate should do, what public should do, what politicians should do. The roles are very well defined for us. Then the relation. If we are in the organization, how should the relationship be? If we are outside the organization, how should the relation? Now imagine I'm walking on a street and all of a sudden I kill somebody. Is it acceptable? No, it isn't. So it is acceptable that I walk on a road, I walk safely and allow others also to walk on the road. So the relationships are defined for us, the norms. Now everybody, we say today we follow traffic rules. Why is this rules for us? Why should I follow traffic rules? If I don't follow traffic rules, I'll meet with an accident. So rules are made. I follow rules in my own college. College has made some rules. I follow rules in the hospital that the hospital has laid out. Why are these rules made? So that the working is made smooth. So the norms. If I'm talking about the social objectives, it is norms. And then the values, morals. I should not do anything that hurts the emotions or the cultural values of the society. So if I put all these into a circle, it looks something like this. The economy, the culture, the law, and the politics all put together. So this looks something like innovation. Okay. In economy, if I talk about, it is products, process, and marketing. If I talk about culture, I'm talking about the organization, way of setting up the organization and the roles of the people in the organization. Then if I talk about the law, I'm talking about the relations, how should the organization work, how should the people outside the organization be, and all those. But if I'm talking about the politics, I'm talking about the rules that is to be followed, the norms. How should I work? How should I not work? What will be the procedures I should follow? What are the rules I should follow? So that is politics. So all this put together is what is your societal innovations. So that is what is that. So if I put it in the form of economy, culture, politics, law. So whatever I spoke in the previous slide, I put it in the form of a circle for easy understanding. This is the typical areas of social innovations where I can have private sector, business firms, social enterprises. Okay. So I have public sector, I have civil society, I have education. Now the better the education, better is your innovation. Why? Because we have enough knowledge to do the innovation. So education impact, social active aging, the laws, social inclusion and integration. Now, if government only keeps making laws, forcing laws on you, will you accept? You will rebel, right? So it has to be mutual. So inclusion and integration, participation in combating poverty. So we are trying to reduce the poverty of India. So if you do that, then the social media and communication. Now today we put everything on Facebook. Everything is there on Instagram. Everything is there on the Twitter. So today what? We hardly read newspaper. Why? Because our social media is strong enough. So innovation in services, true. That's what we have had today. Then workplace innovation and employment means you get, as the innovation starts growing, your industry also starts growing. So job employment also starts growing. Then processes of cooperation. How are we going to cooperate with each other? How are we going to communicate with each other? How do we say that I did, you did, or she did, he did? So the preservance. So that is the IPR. That is what we are going to talk about, or madam is going to talk about to you in the afternoon. So that, then value creation. So whatever you have created, is it giving a value? It is adding value, or it is, PUBG was created. It was very nice initially, but later on when people started having problems, what happened? It was banned. So the value creation is needed. Then measuring and indicators. Okay. how much do I measure? If I'm talking about measurements in terms of organization, they look into terms of profits and loss. If I talk in terms of measuring for the people, use and not use. So measuring indicators, then competency. The typical competition, healthy competition in the markets. The process development of SI, the 4 I's: 1, idea, intervention, implementation, and the impact. This is what basically is the process of social innovation. One is the idea, then implementation of the idea, intervention of the idea, means where exactly it can be used, then implementation and the impact of the implementation. Real life, if I talk about some specific examples, municipality of Kaffenberg, Future for All. Their idea was to issue poverty problem, to eradicate poverty problem. So social assistance without stigmatization. Okay. How did they intervene? They had an activity card. Okay. How was it implemented? Transport. They gave an activity card in the form of transport, Caritas, supermarket, caves. This is something like your bus pass. You can travel in the bus. So they wanted to eradicate the poverty. So what they did, they started tracking. How? They issued something called as, it is something like your Aadhaar card. Today your Aadhaar card, if you open up your Aadhaar card, it will tell all the details about it. So that's the implementation. Impact, participation, elevating quality of life and cohesion. So based on your Aadhaar card, we can decide how much of transactions have happened, what has happened, what you have done, what you have not done, everything. So based on that, I can decide the impact. So like that, the activity card that was given to them, which were used in the transport, supermarket, caves, sports, everywhere. So based on that, they decided how many people are participating, what is the quality of life they are having, how it is going to improve further. So that's one example. The other example is social housing reconstruction camp, house reconstruction camp. They wanted to, the issue was they wanted to have construction, house construction, so that people don't expel them from the houses. Okay. So how did they intervene? They wanted a negotiation for renting systems. Okay. So how did they implement it? They said, okay, contracts, camps, and coordination of students, Roma professionals. That means contracting of houses. I'll give contract to these people so that they will take care of the renting of this houses. So like that, they started implementing it. So what was the impact? They got better houses, they got better cost and energy. Now imagine 10 people putting together, staying in one house. So what will happen? You share the house rent, you share the electricity bill, you share everything, right? So which reduces the financial burden on you. So that was the basic impact of it. So these are the basic examples of social invention in real lives. That's the banking. If I talk about banks, that's the banking. Now today, if you see this, we have banks everywhere. Now you have an issue with your money, you go to the bank refuses. So what you do? You come out of the banks, you have financial institutions giving money. You have institutions lending money on gold loan, right? Though banks are also giving, you have very specifically institutions that are giving loans on gold, right? So it is not that only bank, you also have any other institution to help you out with the finances. But in the olden days, it was not like that. We never had any banks, or it was only that gold person who used to keep the gold, our gold, used to give money, but the interest charges were very much. Or it is only a bank who can give you the loan, typical loan. Or if you go for any financial person, he will charge you too much of interest. But today, it is not that. So you have fixed terms which is open to you. You know what is happening there. So it is up to you to decide whether you want to go to bank, or you want to go to financial institutions, or you want to go for the institutions where you can loan your gold. So it is up to you. So that's the social inventions. Now if I talk about this invention in research, how is this research happening? Now it's something like this. I have knowledge, then I enrich my knowledge and I make an invention. I have money, so I start researching on it. So it is a cycle type. Money is there, so I put into the research. Now, because research is there, I have got full-fledged knowledge. So because of which, what happens? I get a newer ideas which goes towards the innovations, or it can be inventions. If I have to do, if I want to talk about typical terms where I want to do research in the terms of innovation, I have three terms. One is biotech, one is infotech, and one is nanotech. If I talk about biotech, you have typical subjects like pharmaceuticals, diagnostics, research, tools, the different tools used, and the industrial. And in infotech, I have something called as hardware, software, and the communication, the networking communication. And in nanotech, I have something called as electrical, structural, biomedical, energy, and environment. But if I want to combine things, heterogeneity, interdisciplinary. So I can combine biotech and nanotech, and I can do a research and innovation in bioelectronics, microfluids, or nanobiotechnology, or drug delivery. So these are the areas where I can do research on innovation when I combine interdisciplinary, that is biotech and nanotech. But whereas when I combine infotech and nanotech, I have nano devices, nano sensors, nano electronics where innovation is possible. Or a biotech and infotech, I have possibility of doing research for innovation in genomics, bioinformatics, and proteomics. But if I want to combine everything, biotech, infotech, and nanotech, I have biosensors and biochips, where research on innovation can be done. That means you have possibility that you do research and there is an innovation as the outcome of your research. So these are the areas where research is possible, because of which an innovation can be done as the outcome of your research. So I'll conclude. So ambition, thinking, daring is what is giving us the race to the open innovation to today. Then common goals, common values are essential, and everyone is involved in this innovation. It is not a single person, but today it is a combination of people or networking of things. It can be things, people, organization, anything. Then the structural representation, that's what we said. It's the controlled, diversified creativity. So new skills and professions, because we are getting educated very well. So we do have new skills and professions because of which innovation is possible. Ecosystems for co-creation of value, yes. And openness, we are ready to share and learn and grow together. Because of which, that's the reason today we say it is interdisciplinary or network related innovation. So we are able to share, then together, put together, do innovations. And we have open engagement and innovative platforms. Means we have places where innovation can be done and we are open for engagement. It is not that only I am doing or you are doing. It is a collaborative work that is happening, which is going towards the innovation. So innovation can be done anywhere and everywhere, until and unless it doesn't harm the society. So that's about innovation. So now I'm open for questions. And before I open for questions, I'm sorry that I think I have taken a lot of your time. Yes, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, do you have any query? Dear participant, can you give any feedback with respect to the session? Is anybody is interested?
Hope the participants are not sleeping today.
Okay. If there is no query, if no one is interested to take part in the feedback session, I thank Dr. Usha ma'am for a wonderful session and given a very good example of taking a wheel as example with respect to innovation as well as invention. That wheel as invention as well as the usage as innovation. You pointed out with a very good example, and everyone can easily understand the concepts also. Thank you, ma'am. And I will invite Dr. S. Padmapriya ma'am, Vice President of IIC of AVC College of Engineering, HOD of CAC, to propose the vote of thanks. Madam, are you online?
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. And before that, dear participants, you have to submit your feedback before 12:15. Feedback as well as assessment, you have to submit it before 12:15. And those who are attending the forenoon session, and you must attend the afternoon session also, and submit both the assessment in time. Then only you will get the certificate, e-certificate. Padmapriya madam,
Yes,
you
sir.
should take the session.
A very happy morning to one and all gathered here. We are thankful to AICTE-MIC for sponsoring this virtual impact lecture series. And our heartfelt thanks to our today's chief guest, Dr. Usha Divakarla ma'am, for the excellent and informative session. Is what our deans are tell us, starting with a simple day-to-day example in the innovations, and forward to need for innovation and what are the stages and sources of innovation 2.0. And she has, ma'am has nicely given the very hectic and important current problem regarding this gaming issues with the children. And that leads to the social innovation. It's really it's a need of the hour, ma'am, the social innovation. And you have concluded with a really very good real life example of this social innovation. Really, thank you so much, ma'am, for your very informative session and for your very wonderful delivery. Thank you, ma'am. And a sincere thanks to Principal and Director Administration for their support in all our endeavors. Hearty thanks to IIC President, our Dean Sir Dr. Pradeep, and IIC coordinators members for organizing the series. I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the directors, heads of various departments, faculty members, participants, both internal and external participants, students, for their presence, participation, and cooperation. Thank you once again. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. I think somebody has raised a hand. Hello. Okay, Pradeep sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. You can leave, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Dear participant, please join around 1:50. Thank you.
Priya?
Ma'am, good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Clear.
Resource person joined. Clear, clear.
Okay, okay.
Madam, you have to wait for a few minutes. So
Okay,
for only 14 participants have joined. You have to wait for a few minutes.
okay, okay.
Lata madam, are you online?
Yes, sir.
Shall we start the session?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good afternoon to one and all. I welcome today's guest speaker, Dr. Priya Esther, who is going to deliver a session on IPR and patent filing for this AICTE IAC 4.0 Impact Lecture Series 2. I welcome all the participants, and I hope this session will be more useful to you. And now I invite Dr. Lata Madam, Associate Professor of EEE Department of our institution and IAC Startup Coordinator of our institution, to propose the welcome address and give you a short introduction about today's speaker. Welcome, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, one and all. Respected resource person of this session, Dr. D. Priya Esther, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechatronics, SRM Institute of Technology, Kadangalatur. Respected Principal of AVC College of Engineering, respected Director, Vice Principal, and the Dean, as well as President of IAC, distinguished Director R&D, heads of various departments, dear coordinators and the committee members of this IAC, dear teaching and non-teaching and the supporting staff members, and the participants from various institutions, and my dear students. Good afternoon, one and all. It's my privilege to present the welcome address in this happy occasion. I extend a warm welcome to our today's resource person, the young and energetic Dr. B. Priya Esther, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechatronics, SRM Institute of Technology, Katangulatur, for accepting our invitation and to deliver the lecture on IPR and patent filing. On behalf of AVCCE, I welcome you, ma'am. I would like to welcome our principal, Dr. Sundara sir, for his presence. I welcome you, sir. I welcome our director, vice principal, dean, director R&D for the continuous support and their kind presence. It's my duty to welcome our heads of department, teaching and non-teaching staffs for their enormous work to make the program a grand success. I extend the welcome to our coordinators and various committee members of this IAC for this important presence. Finally, I will welcome the participants from various institutions and our own institutions for the presence. Once again, I welcome one and all. Thank you. Now, I give the brief introduction about our chief guest, Dr. Priya Esther. She working as assistant professor in Department of Mechatronics in SRM Institute of Technology, Katangalatur. She completed her bachelor degree in 1999 in electrical and electronics engineering in Manonmaniam Sundarnath University. She obtained her Master of Technology in SRM Institute of Science and Technology in 2005, and also she obtained Master of Science and Information Technology from Alagappa University from 2002 to 8. She completed his doctorate in Vellore Institute of Technology in the year of 2018. Her experience starts from Polytechnic College to University from June 1919 to now. She is working as a assistant professor in Mechatronics Department in SRM Institute of Science and Technology. She also worked as woman scientist from August 2019 to 2020. Her interested area of research are smart grid, cyber security, DSM, big data, game theory, and IoT for electrical grid and mechatronics. She filed 2 patents. She acted as a reviewer in the following journals: Energy Reports, International Journal of Electrical Power and Energy Systems, Sustainable Cities and Societies, World Academy of Science, Engineering and Technology. She delivered the lectures on smart meters, regarding patents, filing and applying patents, IPR walkthrough, and how to plan for startup and legal ethical steps, and how to convert the project to patent, like the sectors she delivered. Her area of interest is in IPR patent and filing and also in smart grid. She attended more number of NPTEL courses and more FDP like
Property. So we have different types of intellectual property rights. India recognizes so many intellectual property rights. The prominent ones are patent, copyright, design, trademark in our country. So we have different IPRs, that means intellectual property rights in our country. So let me give the brief introduction on this intellectual property rights one by one. So coming to the patent, so we are most aware of this term patent. So what is a patent? Any product or process which is new or which is having an inventive step with industrial applicability, it's said to be patent. This is the standard definition for the patent from the Indian Patent Act 1970. So it is an exclusive right for any invention. This invention, it can be a product or process. The invention need to have something new. It need to give some technical solution to a problem. And even the invention safety pin, it has more than 1,000 patents on it. So it need not be a rocket science technology. Even a small solution to a day-to-day problem, it can be patented. So the life of a patent is for 20 years. The patent, what the patent owner has to do, simply he has to submit a disclosure or the form to the patent office. That's it. So we have the headquarters in Kolkata. We have 4 patent offices in India. The one in Chennai, the other one is Delhi, the other one is in Kolkata, the other one is in Mumbai. For patent, the headquarters is located in Kolkata. So you can see to the symbol of this patented invention in most of the products which are patented like mixie and all, we can see this stamp mark patented there. So this is about the patent. And then coming to the trademark, it is a symbol or it is a word which are legally registered or established by use as representing company product. So McDonald's, it is a trademark. Coca-Cola is a trademark. KFC is a trademark. So it can be the combination of words, letters, or numerals, or drawing. It can be a 3D signature, or the shape of the product, the packing of goods, the colors. These are all comes under trademark property rights. So in India, the term for registration of trademark is only 10 years, and then eventually it has to be renewed. So you can see to the symbol of the trademark in the right hand corner of the slide. And this web link I'll show you in the end, all the details about the intellectual properties of India. And for trademark, the headquarters is in Mumbai. So we do have this copyright property right. So we are much familiar with this right. So these are the rights related to writing a novel, poem, for any cinema, songs, the newspaper article, and even our lab manual, and then the computer programs. All this, it comes under copyright. The music composition, the artistic work, these all comes under this copyright. It's not much mandatory to register this copyright, but when we do the registration, we can earn a lot with this copyright property also. We also remember in 2016 there was a case between the famous music director Ilayaraja and SPB sir. So we know that it was a legal notice. It was sent to SPB sir for that requesting that he cannot perform any songs composed by him without the composer permission. So copyright is also a powerful tool in patent right. So we do have a separate web link related with this copyright, and the headquarters of copyright is in New Delhi. And coming to the geographical indication, these are the signs on goods that have specific geographical origin and possess qualities or reputation that are due to their place of origin. When we think about Tirunelveli, we used to say Alva. And when we talk about Madurai, Madurai Malli, we used to say. and Dindigul means Puttu. So we have this geographical indication right also. The headquarters for this geographical indication property right is in Chennai. In Chennai, our patent office is situated near to Gindi railway station. And nowadays, most of the academians go for this design property right. It is a form of legal protection of the unique visual qualities of a manufactured item. So, if you have any design of a product or anything which are ornamental, if you are designing something, that can also be legally protected under this design rights. So here is the website link that also I will show you in the end. Further details related to all the documentation part, all the procedural part, and all the fees related things, it can be seen from the website. And we do have the next intellectual property is related to the trade secret. What is a trade secret? It is a confidential business information which involves the manufacturing, industrial, as well as the commercial secret. And it can also include the sales method, distribution method, the consumer profile, and the advertising strategy. These are all comes under trade secret, and it can also be protected without registration. So apart from this, we do have the property rights related to the semiconductor technology. It comes under layout design for integrated circuit. So if you are doing any semiconductor chip design, that has to be protected under this segment, semiconductor design for IC segment. So it cannot be patented. So under patent, we have different intellectual property. Under IPR, we do have different concepts like patent, trademark, semiconductor technology, protection of new plant variety, etc. So when we go for the chip layout design, it has to be protected under this semiconductor design rights. And even we do have the right protection, which is under protection of new plant variety. It recognizes the farmer, the cultivator contribution to the country's agro biodiversity towards the investment of R&D to develop new plant varieties. So a farmer, if they are producing a new variety of plant or the seeds, that can be protected under this right protection of new plant variety. So these are the different intellectual property rights we have in India. And some of the examples I want to show you is this Colgate toothpaste. In this example, we have the patent rights, we have the design rights, we have the copyright rights, we have the trademark rights, we have the, these are the different rights with this Colgate toothpaste. So here the toothpaste, the composition of this toothpaste, it comes under patent right. And the what are the wordings written here? All this stuff, it comes under the copyright. And the color and the ring which is covered, which is shown above that total, it comes under the design. And even this Colgate toothpaste, it has it trademark, the logo, everything, it comes under this trademark right. And coming to the second example, the Coca-Cola, it also has near to 6,893 patents. This Coca-Cola, it has around 6,893 patents, in which only 3,695 active patents are there. So the patents get expired after every 20 years. So as of now, around approximately 3,600 patents are inactive. So this second example, Coca-Cola, it also has the trade secret in it. It has the trademark. So no one can copy the color or the write-up style of this Coca-Cola Classic. And the bottle shape is also, it comes under this design property right. And what are the things written here in the advertisement? These are all copyrighted. And the next example, we have this pressure cooker. So here we have the constructional features. It comes under patent right. The catalog and the booklet, it comes under the copyright. The name and the logos, it comes under the trademark, and here the design of the handle, it comes under the design property right. And here also this simple product which most of men use in their day-to-day life, it has a minimum of 35 patents, 2 to 3 design rights, and 2 to 3 copyrights. And when we look into this example of iPhone, it has more than a lakh rights into it. But as of now, as on February 2022, it has an active 20,491 patents in it. So it can have all the rights like copyright, trademark, the design rights. So all the algorithms in India, the algorithm computer programs are not covered under the property rights, but in US it is accepted. So as of now, this simple product, it has around 20,491 active rights in it. So what is the importance of patent filing? So we all know Edison invented electric bulb. Why? Because he has filed the patent document in the year 1879. But before that, in 1802 itself, Humphrey Davy, he was the original inventor of electric bulb. So this is the importance of patent filing. The original inventor is someone, and actual the projected person for the world is the other one. So, but it took a lot of years for him to do the patent filing. Edison is having around more than 1,000 patents in his name, and his net worth was around $12 million when he was dead. So this is one example to highlight the importance of patent filing. And the next point I want to say is about this Coca-Cola opening can. So the inventor is somebody, but the inventor, he can give the license. So this product is licensed to Y person, but as a royalty, the inventor, he was getting around 148,000 UK pounds a day. So that is the power of getting a patent. And it will be appropriate if you have an invention to go for patent filing. And I want to say about this post-it notes also. Actually, it was not an invention. It was an invention by accident. So Dr. Spencer Silver, he was a scientist. He was working with 3M super strong adhesive, and he was wasting a lot of adhesive 3M papers just like that. And his manager, Mr. Arthur Fry, he was using that waste papers for his hymn book, for his song book, and eventually this post-it notes, it came into existence, and it fetched him near to $2 million as his revenue. So this is how we have to focus, or we have to project the importance of patent filing. And we are also familiar with this guys, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. Even though we have the statement like every significant invention is built on the work of others, these guys, they have taken the basic concepts of this Xerox PARC inventions, and as we know, they are all the billions and rich gods in the present world. Okay, so far we were discussing about the introduction on the IPR and the different intellectual properties we know, and now we will move on to the patent and the patent filing procedures. Before that, let me take you to the website of Indian Patent Office, where we can see to the all the property rights which are available. This patent, design, trademark, GI are the most prominent property rights in India. So if we want to know more points related to this patent, means what we can do is we can go to this FAQs, and there all the points related to the patent filing, they have given very clearly what is a patent, what is the term of patent, all this stuff they have given in detail. This is for your reference. And if you want to know about the designs also, so the design property right, it has some forms, publications, manual, acts, rules. Even this patent is governed by the acts and rules. Here you can see acts and rules. So it is under Indian Patent Act 1970. So even this trademark, we have the different procedural system. So the status of the trademark filed, everything, it can be known from the website itself. So we have this ipindia.gov.in. From there, more details on these property rights can be known. So coming to the patent filing procedure, we are supposed to know about the patent, the statistics of the patent so far, and what is the concept of patentability, and what are the timelines related to that. We have understood that a patent is a business tool, and a patent is a statutory protection for an invention granted for a limited period, that is for 20 years, to the patentee by the government in exchange of full disclosure of his invention. So if you got an idea, and even if it is not complete as a product, you can go for the patent filing. What the government needed is just a disclosure of your invention. That's it. You have to fill the appropriate form and you have to submit in the patent office. So if you are submitting yearly, it is well and good. You will get the priority date. Before that, the invention, if it is a product or process, it has to be kept confidential. That's it. So it is a statutory protection granted for a limited period of time, that is for 20 years, by the government in exchange of full disclosure of the invention. And moreover, the patent is a territorial right. So if you get a patent in India only, you can enjoy the benefits of a patent. If you want to enjoy the benefits all throughout the world, means you have to go for the other types of filing called the convention filing or the PCT filing. So if your invention is a worth invention, it is always advisable to go for a PCT filing. So it can give the patent rights in around 158 countries. So it is a patent is a monopoly right given to the owner, which excludes others from making, using, selling, offering for sale, or importing the product or process to produce the product without his consent. So in academia, we show a lot of interest in patent filing, but not doing the proper patent search and the other procedures. But according to me, schools and colleges are the powerhouse of patents. So who can apply patent? Any person who are the inventors, they can apply the patent. Or even if I assign somebody, they can also file a patent on behalf of me. That is what the patent agent do, or the patent agent from the law firms, they do. We give the power of attorney to them. They do the patent filing on behalf of us. And like other property inheritance, we do have the legal representative concept also in these patent rights. So any person, an inventor can apply a patent. So if the inventor is not interested in going for a patent, he can keep an assignee also. Through the assignee mentioning the name of the inventor, a patent can be filed, and a legal representative also can apply for a patent. So what are the benefits of doing the registration of a patent? We have seen the benefits in one point of view. It gives a lot of monetary benefits. And apart from that, it is an exclusive right given to the patentee. And if anybody is using the product without your knowledge, you can go for an infringement cases. And you can also license the product, or you can assign the product to somebody, or you can sell the product on commercial basis also. These are the benefits for patent. And this is the patent filing trend in India from 2015 to 2020. Every year, approximately near to 55,000 of patents are getting filed. In that, probably 1/10 of the patents are getting granted. The reason is most of the patents which are filed in India is not undergoing the regular process. Like as a first step, we have to do the prior art search. After getting the priority or the patentability report, then only it is advisable to go for filing. Otherwise, this patent, getting a patent is a universal recognition. Even though it is a territorial right, it is a universal recognition. That means the literature survey for a patent is done all throughout the world. It is not only done only not with the Indian technology. It is the literature survey is a complete search part of the world level technology involved into it. So if around 55,000 patents are getting filed, means near to only 5,000 or 6,000 patents are granted after 5 or 6 years in India. So this is the trend of patent statistics in India. We know to some extent that the procedures of patent are filing is the first step. Then we are supposed to do the examination from our side. In between the examination process and the filing, the publication, it will happen within 18 months. And on priority basis, if we submit the respective form, we can go for the yearly publication also. And once the examination is over, the grant will be given by the patent office as a patent certificate. And we can also, once, if not granted, it will go to the disposal state. So this is the statistics again for these years. Every year, I have said around 42,000, or now we are in 2022, it's around 55,000 plus patents are getting filed. Here, only with respect to the electrical domain, you can see to the number of patents filed every year. Near to 5,000, 6,000 patents are getting filed in the electrical domain. And see, out of this 50,000 applications, only near to 50% of application go to the next level. The reason is in between the publication stage is there. So after publication, we are supposed to submit the form of examination. If that form is submitted, then only it can go for the examination stage. Most of the patent applications are getting abandoned in this level itself. And this is the procedure from filing to the grant of patent. As a first step, we will be filing the application. In the application, it can be filed as a provisional application or as a complete specification. So there are two options given here. The application, it can be submitted as a provisional application. It is like taking the priority date. Okay, so if you want to have the priority date, it is better to submit the provisional specification. So once the provisional specification is filed, within 1 year or within 12 months, the complete specification or the form 2, it has to be submitted in the patent office. So as I have said earlier, the publication of the application, it will happen after 18 months. So if you want an yearly publication, you have to submit the appropriate fees and the form so that yearly publication can happen with your application. So if the publication is happening after 18 months, the next stage is request for examination. So within 48 months of the filing date, you have to submit form 18. So if we submit that form, that means we are requesting the patent office for the examination process. So the controllers in the patent office, they will do the exam. The examiners and the controllers will take care of the application. They will do the process of examination. So once the examination is done, they will give the report of that. So you have to file the first examination report response to them. So the time period for that is 6 months. You can have an additional 3 months extension also. So for what all the objections they have raised under your application, it has to be responded within 6 months or with an extension of 3 months. So you can take near to 9 months to complete the process. If this is not done, your application will be abandoned. So once if all the queries are cleared, then without any hesitation, the patent office will be happy to give you the grant as a patent certificate. So this is the patent filing procedure in India. So this is a rough timeline with the normal process and with an expedited process of patent filing system in India. So like Takkal reservations for train, we do have the expedited process in India. So with that expedited system, we can have the patent within 6 months also. It has happened in India. So with the normal procedure, what will happen is if I am filing the patent application on January 2019 means the publication it will happen after 18 months. So the publication it will happen in the Journal of Patent Office. That also it can be tracked out from the IP India website. So roughly in the month of July 2021, the publication it will get published in the Journal of Patent Office. So once publication happens, we are supposed to submit form 18, that is the request for examination. So if we submit that form along with the fees, so what will happen is, as I have said in the previous slide, the examiners will do the examination report. And for the queries raised by them, within 1 month, we are supposed to give the first examination report. So if the form FPR response we are getting on 1/8/2021 means, so within 6 months we can give the response to the FPR. From August till February 2022, you can take the time. So within 6 months, you have to give the, you can take for giving the response for the first examination report given by the patent office. And once if the queries, everything is satisfied from your part and the patent office, if they accept your reply, the patent will be granted in the next month itself. So this is the regular procedure. But due to the backlog of the patent applications, the patent processing is not taking this fast processing. It is taking near to 4 to 5 years in India to get their patent. So when we go for this expedited process, the first step, we will do the filing of the application. Along with the filing, if we do the form 9 submission, that means a request for yearly publication. The publication will happen within a month. So we can see if the filing of the application, it was in 1/1/2021 means within 1 month, that 31/1/2021, the publication will happen. Otherwise, it will take 18 months for the publication process. And again, we have form 18A. It is the request for expedited examination, that means fast examination. If we are submitting that expedited examination application on the day itself or the next day itself, within 1 month you will get the examination report from the patent office. And if we are replying the examination report within a month, again, if no queries are there from the patent office, the grant will be given as earliest as possible. So these are the timeline needed for the patent office to grant a patent application. So what are the patentability requirements? So if we have a problem, if we get a solution, and if a solution is having the novelty, inventive step, industrial application, then the invention, it can be patentable. So only these 3 points they will check at the patent office. Novelty, your invention should be new. And it need to have the inventive step. That means technical advancement should be there. And the third point is it has to have an industrial application. It need to have an application. So these are the 3 points of patentability with respect to the Indian Patent Office. So some things are non-patentable. So in India, the computer algorithms are not patentable, and the plants and animals are not patentable. So we have a list from Section 3 and 4 of Indian Patent Act 1970. So this is the gist of the Section 3 and 4. These are the 15 points which are non-patentable. So one by one, let me discuss with you. So the first one is the frivolous invention which are contrary to the natural laws. That means if we are developing a machine with 100% efficiency, that is against the natural law. That is not possible. That type of invention is not patentable. And 3B, it tells the invention which are contrary to the public order or the morality is not patentable. That means if you are inventing a device which can help a thief to steal, that type of devices or product is not patentable. So the invention which affects the morality of the public, it is not patentable. And 3C, the third point is the mere discovery of any invention is not patentable. Uh, and the invention which are pertaining to the known substances, they are not patentable. The invention which is just a mere admixture of arrangement, that means an umbrella with a fan. So the umbrella is also known product and the fan is also known product. Combining these two, it will not fetch you a patent. So rearrangement of things or the mere admixture or the changing the compositions of some chemical and getting a new product, those type of things, it cannot be patented in India. And the method of testing, it is not patentable. The method of agriculture, it is not patentable, but it can be registered under the plant varieties rights. And the method of medical treatment of plants, human and animals, all these are not patentable in India. But the devices, medical apparatus, the products which are related to the treatment of this plant, animals, and humans, they are all patentable. And the plant and animal varieties are not patentable in India. And the business method, the computer program, the method of playing games, they're all not patentable in India. And the literary, dramatic, the musical, the artistic works, all this, it comes under the copyright. The method of playing a game and the presentation of information, this PPT, it all, it's not patentable, but it comes under the concept of copyright. And the topography of integrated circuit, it is not patentable, but it can be under the semiconductor property right. And the section 4 from the intellectual property Indian Patent Act, it says that inventions which are relating to the atomic energy, that is not patentable. So these are the points we have to know before going for any inventions. These are non-patentable points from the Indian Patent Act. So how to apply for a patent? So if you have an invention, we have to download the application from the Indian Patent Office. It can be the provisional specification or the complete specification with the prescribed fee. So if we fill that form and if it is a provisional specification, within 12 months, we have to do the complete specification. There will be no further extension of the time to file the complete specification. So the process of filing a patent is just we have to download the forms from the Patent Office website. Forms 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. These are the 5 forms we are supposed to do the downloading and fill the contents of the form along with the fees. If we submit the document in Patent Office, that is the procedure to apply for a patent. As we know, the patenting process in India, it has these steps. The inventor, after finding the value to his invention, he thinks of doing the patent protection. So he has to disclose the invention. That's it. Working model is not needed when we go for the first step of filing. So as I said, the forms, it has to be filled, but it is always advisable to go for the patent search before the filing. So if from the prior art, if you get the confidence to go for the patent filing, it is always better to go for the provisional submission to get the early date. And within 12 months of provisional application submission, we have to go for the complete specification submission. Along with the other documents, and with the fees, it has to be uh, submitted in the office. So once the application is submitted in the office, the processing will happen like a publication within the 18 months, and then the examination on request it will be done in the 48 month, and it will go to the first examination reports and all. And once everything is fine, the grant will be given. So it is, as the patent documents are techno-legal documents, it is advisable to take up the help of the patent professionals to do a smooth process. So we are supposed to know about the prior art search. So when we write a paper, we do the literature survey like this. Before filing a patent, it is always advisable to go for the prior art search. So what is a prior art search? So it is like a literature survey when we go for the paper publication. So this prior art search, it will let us know the drawbacks of the present product or the process. And as an inventor, you can highlight the drawbacks of the invention, and we can go for the solution for that product or process. And we can also give the embodiments. What is the meaning of embodiment? It is the visible form of idea. The embodiment for the specific solution, it can also be drafted, and the best method of the invention, it can be highlighted, and the submission can be done. So the prior art search can be done with the free databases. So we do have the Google patent search. So if we type the title related to the area of interest or related to the invention, we will get the documents. From that documents, we can know the present technology related to the invention, and if there is a difference, and if the patentability conditions are satisfied, the novelty, inventive step, and the industrial application, these 3 points are satisfied, then we can go for patent filing. As the patenting process in India, it takes near to 5 to 6 years. So it is always better to go for the prior art search before filing the patent application. So these are the important forms we have related to the patent processing. Form 1, it is the application for the grant of patent. Form 2, it is the same form for the provisional or the complete specification. If you are submitting as a provisional, you have to strike off the complete specification there. And if you are going for complete specification, you have to strike off this provisional. That's it. And Form 3, it is for the statement and undertaking. And Form 5, it is for the declaration as to inventorship. And Form 9, it is for the request for publication. So if you are not submitting Form 9 within 18 months, that 18th month, automatically the application, it will get published. So if you are requesting for publication with the prescribed fee, rupees 2,500, your application, it will get published at an earliest. So once the publication is done, we have to go for Form 18. That Form 18 is the request for the examination. And if you want to do the examination process under expedited examination scheme, you have to submit Form 18A. And you are taking the help of any patent agent, means you have to go for Form 26. So we have near to 32 forms related to the patent procedures, but these 6 forms are the most important forms as an academician we have to know. And when we go for the filing procedure, we will be going with Form 1, 2, 3, and 5. That's it. And if you are taking the help of the patent agent, you have to go for Form 26. So eventually, as days or months move on, you have to go for Form 18. That's it. So these are the main forms you have to know before doing the patent procedures. So here are the fees which we have to know before the filing. Form 1, the application for patent filing, it is around 1,600 rupees. And Form 2 and 3, we need not pay any fees. And 5 also, we need not pay any fees. And Form 18, we have to pay around 4,000 rupees. And if you are taking patent agent as a help, power of attorney, or you are giving the power of attorney to any law firms, that time we have to submit Form 26, but no fees is there for Form 26. And if you are going for yearly publication, that is also optional. That time you have to pay a fees of 2,500. And in the website of patent office, all these things are clearly available. And what has to be filled in Form 1? We know that Form 1 is the application for the grant of patent. The fees for this form is around 1,600 for the natural person. And what are the details we have to fill in this Form 1? You need to have the name, contact details of the applicant, inventors, etc. That's it. And this Form 1, if you are submitting alone, it is invalid. You have to submit with the provisional or the complete specification, that is Form 2. So all these forms can be downloaded from the Patent India website. And Form 2, this is the main document we have to fill. In Form 2, we have to fill the title, the field, background, prior art, drawbacks of the invention, uh, drawbacks of the existing invention, the description, the results, drawing, abstract. All this it has to be given in Form 2. What are the claims you do in the complete specification? Only that are the legal boundaries of the invention. So if you are not claiming anything with the complete specification, that you cannot claim, you cannot do the protection of your invention. So the claim is the most important part of the complete specification. Drafting a claim is a skill. So it is better to go for a professional drafting person to write up the claims of the invention. So Form 2 is the most important form related to the patent filing. It gives the complete talk about your invention. And in Form 2, you have to give the title. The title, it can be of only 15 words. It is an indicative of the subject and it discloses the feature of the invention. And here in Form 2, you have to fill the field of the invention. So you have the field like electrical invention, mechanical invention, biological invention. So many different divisions are there. So that field of invention, it has to be written. And the background of the invention, the existing technologies, the prior art of the invention, it can be mentioned under the title background of the invention. Then we can also mention the object of invention. What is the reason we are going for the invention? What are the advantages of this invention? All this, it can be mentioned under the title object of the invention. Then the details, the brief outline of the invention, the method of performing of the invention, it can be given under the summary of the invention. And like paper writing, we have this flow of write-up with respect to the Form 2, which is a complete specification. And then we can give the detailed description of the invention. And these claims are the most critical part of this Form 2. They define the scope of the invention. What are not claimed under this claim segment, you cannot demand or you cannot claim for the protection. So the writing the claim is the most important part of the invention. And when we do the claim writing, you can have the independent claims and the dependent claims. So this claim is the most important critical part of this Form 2. And if you have the drawing as per the format given, you have to represent the drawing also. And in the end, you'll be giving the abstract, which is the concise summary of the matter in complete specification. This abstract, it can have only 150 words. So we have certain clause. The title, it can have 15 words. The abstract, it can have only 150 words. And you have to write the field of the invention, background of the invention, object of the invention, just like that few lines. And the claims are the most important in part with respect to the complete specification of the Form 2. And even though we do the ordinary filing process in India, we have to submit Form 3. And the name of the Form 3 is called a Statement and Undertaking. So if you are going for the other type of patent application, that is PCT application, the details, what are the inventions you are filed abroad, that details it has to be included in Form 3. And if you are going for an ordinary application in India, with the nil details, you have to submit this document. Otherwise, the patent office will not do the processing of your patent application. So even though if you are, there are different types of patent filing applications. The first one is the ordinary application, that is within India. The second one is the convention application, that is an international application, which is having a limited number of countries under it. Convention. You have the third one is the PCT application. It has near to 158 countries. So whenever you go for international application, and if you intend to do the filing of application in other countries, that details every 6 months you have to update with our Indian Patent Office through Form 3. And then we have this Form 5, that is Declaration of Inventorship. So, as I have said, the applicant can be an inventor or he may not be an inventor. He can be the assignee. So, there is a form called Declaration of Inventor. So, the applicant discloses the names of inventors through this form. Form 5 is also mandatory to submit. Either you can submit with Form 2 or you can take an extension of 12 months. Or you can have an extension to submit this form. It is always better to submit this Form 1, 2, 3 and 5 together. And if you are going for the request of examination, it has to be filled within 48 months of application, of filing the application. So if you are not submitting this Form 18, the patent application will not get processed. It will be abandoned. And Form 26, it is the authorization of patent agent. So what does it mean is you are authorizing some ex-person who are officially a patent agent, who cleared the patent agent examination, who can work on your behalf in the patent office, who can handle all the procedural activities of patent office. That authorization, that power of attorney, you are supposed to give with Form 26. And if you want to go for the request for publication, this form has to be filled. So otherwise, the publication, it will happen at the 18th month of the application filing. And these are all about the patent filing procedures. And if you have still more queries, as I have shown, you can have the link of this page, FAQ under patent, under IP India website. And if you want to file a patent application, you can also see to this web link. You have to create the user details, and if you have the digital signature, you can go for the filing process. And if you want to know the status of your application, if you have the application number or other details, you can just type the number here and you can know about the status of your application. So if you want to know about any patent, what you can do is you can enter the title in this link. So let me type an example, Smart Cradle, which is the recent patent my institute have got. So if you give the details, the title, if you have the number, it will be easy. Otherwise, you have to give more details. You will get more number of results. So if you type the title and if you give the details here, it will show you the results. So as of now, it has given me 559 documents. And still, if you give more details, So you can track out the application status. And example, I have taken this data. IoT-based sensorless control for smart farming. So when you look into the application status, here itself you can know. So this application, it is filed, and the request for publication is submitted, so it is published. So the next step after submitting the examination request, that also they have done on 16/6/2022. So if the examination process is over, then this block, it will be in green in color. So if everything is okay, they will grant the patent. Otherwise, it will go to the disposed stage. If you want to view the documents, go to the view documents. Here you can see all the forms. So here is form 1. If you open this document, so it will show you the name, the applicant details, and other stuff. Whether it is an ordinary application or the convention application, the PCT application, all the details is available. So it is an ordinary application. So the name of the institute and the details of the applicants, the title, everything is given here. So this is form 1. The applicants need to sign, and they have submitted for yearly publication, and they have also requested for examination. As I have said, form 1 has to be submitted. Form 2 has to be submitted. So form 2 is complete specification. This filling the form 2 is so important, and writing the claim is also much more important. So this is form 2 document. The title is given, the applicant name is given. So the applicant and the inventors can be different, or it can be the same also. So you have to give the documentation like this, the field of invention. We have the specific format, the present invention relate to, like this only. We have to write the background of the invention, and then the objective of the invention, everything is typed. And here are the claims. We claim. So like this, 10 claims are allowed, but they have written 5 claims. So after writing the claim, you have to give the abstract. The abstract, it can be 150 words. Here it is more than that. Okay, so like this, each and every document, it can be referred if you want to do the patent filing on your own. And if you have the drawings, that would also, it can be seen here. And if you want to do the patent search, what you can do is you can go to Google Patent. So you can go to Google Patent. Like Google Scholar, we have this Google Patent. There also we have the advanced search. So if you type any topic, so we'll have all the patent related to the title. I have typed the title smartwatch. So what all the documents related to smartwatch, it has shown me. So like Google Scholar, even for patent search, we have the free database, Google Patent, and the patent office, they will have the paid database that they will get the document from all over the world, which are related, which are equally close to our invention. So for smartwatch, you can see to the document. So the classification, the priority date, the publication date. As this is a PCT application, the format, it will be a little different. So you can see to the abstract, and all the details are clearly seen here. So that's all from my side. Any queries?
Thank you, madam. From participant side, any queries related to patent filing? If you need any clarification regarding patent filing, any feedback about the session? I hope that Madam has given a session that everyone is so comfortable with respect to the session, since there is no query and everyone, all that content is very clear to you, and everyone is ready to go for applying for patent also in near future. Thank you, madam. Thanks for having a nice session and completely focused on patent filing also. I have one query with respect to the patent examination.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
That is about patent agent examination.
Yes, sir.
Most of the academician as well as lawyer by profession, they are applying for patent agent examination.
Yes.
This year it was happened in May. Actually, after 2 years only, the examinations were conducted.
Yes, sir.
In
Yeah.
May.
Yeah.
How far it is suits to academic? When you go for patent agent examination, this is only for in order to apply for any complaining with respect to someone's challenge with respect to a particular patent. In that aspect only, the patent agent has to appear for it, or
So patent agent can be a mediator between the academic institution and the patent office.
okay.
So as an academician, I have near to 19 years of teaching experience, but in between I had a break and I entered into that women scientist scheme, which is related to IPR. And even I have cleared that paper 1 and paper 2, and yesterday I have attended the Viva Voice in patent office.
Okay.
So being a patent agent and also as an academician, so we can bridge the gap. Actually, patent filing is a techno-legal document. The technical part and the legal part, we can be the mediator between these two segments.
Okay. And one thing is, with respect to most of the advocates, they are also written the examination.
Yes.
Patent examination.
Mm-hmm.
In what aspect they have written the examination?
So most of the academic institutions, they have the law firms under them to do all these activities: filing, prosecution, drafting. We do have different segments. Prior art search, it will be done by a separate team. Drafting will be done by a separate team. The prosecution will be done by a separate team. All this will be taken care by the separate cells of law firm.
Oh.
But all these things we give to them and they do for us. But nowadays, patent agents from an academic institution, what we can do, we can just streamline the process. That whatever technically we speak to a lawyer, they cannot understand.
Okay.
All the legal terms we cannot understand.
Okay.
So presently, the law firm people, they do the legal aspects of the patent procedures. But there is a gap between the academicians and the patent filing procedures.
Okay. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Now I invite Devashree Nandi madam to propose a vote of thanks. Lata madam, before that, do you want to share anything?
Sir?
Do you want to share anything regarding this session?
Session is very nice, sir. Thank you, Priya, for your nice session, sir.
Okay,
Thank
okay.
you. Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, dear participants, there is a small announcement, and already session assessment as well as feedback link has been posted in your chat box. Fill the feedback as well as assessment, and before 3:45 and 3:45 to 4 we have to wind up the feedback process and assessment, and you have to share the geotagged participation to the mail ID which we have shared it on the chat box. Thank you. Now I invite Mrs. Devashree Nandini to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to one and all. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks on this occasion. I extend my profound thanks to Dr. G. Pradeep, Dean Academics and IAC President, for taking the initiative and organizing this virtual impact lecture series 2 in a well-organized and an effective manner. I would like to express my gratitude to our Director, Dr. Senthil Murugan sir, and Principal, Dr. Sundarraj sir, for supporting us in all our efforts. We are grateful to our resource persons of both the sessions for sparing their valuable time for us and gracing this event. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. B. Priya Esther, Assistant Professor of Mechatronics, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, for sharing her valuable ideas about IPR and patent filing. We got a clear idea about patentability requirements and the patenting process in India. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your experience with us. I would like to thank the directors, head of various departments, faculty members, and students from home institution and other institutions for their participation and cooperation. I wholeheartedly thank you all for cooperating with us in organizing this virtual impact lecture series in a successful manner. Thanking you all.
Thank you, participants, and thank you, all the dignitaries. Thank you for the
Thank you, ma'am.
opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Now
sir.
we can leave the session.
you.